Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's me, your boy Waddles, and it's time. Oh, it's finally time. For months and months, it's been kind of quiet, not a little bit boring, but no, not anymore. Today, it's finally time. Minecraft in 2022, mob vote, everything to know. What we're gonna do today, friends, is pretty self-explanatory. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, then your brain is the size of a peanut, at maximum, of course. Please kindly leave a like, and let's go. For our little mob vote talk today, friends, I'd like to begin with the absolute basics. You know, things like, what is it, why is it, and where is my grandma? Has she wandered off again? Oh no, please, somebody help her. Ah, wait, different topic. The mob vote is basically something that happens every single year that Mojang likes to do to essentially stir up as much controversy as possible. The community always ends up getting divided into 3 parts, and the story for 2 out of those 3 parts ends in disappointment. It sounds scarring, and sure, maybe it is a little bit, but at the same time, it's super fun. This year's mob vote will be taking place at Minecraft Live 2022. That happens on October 15th, except this time, you'll actually be able to begin voting a day earlier, on October 14th, 2022. In this year's mob vote, you get to pick between 3 mobs, one called the Sniffer, one called the Rascal, and one called the TUFF Golem. Remember those mob names because that's the important part, but we'll circle around, we'll come back to it. So 3 brand new mobs as always. This year we'll be voting on these mobs, but the voting is going to be a little bit different. In the older years, the classic days, the voting always takes place on Twitter. This year it's going to be different. Instead of simply opening up Twitter and voting there, the devs have come up with something even better. Hopefully better. You'll be able to vote in-game on Bedrock Edition, probably on a server. You'll be able to vote inside of the Minecraft launcher, and just in case you play Minecraft but you don't, you'll be able to vote on the Microsoft website as well. According to one of the Mojang devs, not only will you be able to vote before the show, but you should also probably be able to switch your vote around before the show too. The votes are going to be locked in as soon as the show begins. But I'm just warning you, if something glitches and it doesn't end up working like that, that's not my fault. That's on you, friend, okay? There have been a lot of leaks going on in the Minecraft community lately. And one leak that I thought you might find interesting and that directly relates to this one right here is this. In the latest Bedrock hotfix, new UI textures have been found, which is part of the mob vote server. Allegedly, if these things are true, we'll end up seeing these things in game in like about a week's time. This one is fascinating. Look at this. The Tiny Jeb, Tiny Agnes, Tiny Vu, they've actually been like, I guess like bedrockified. Like they're in game. They're actually like things. I don't know if that makes sense. Lastly, keep in mind that if you own Java and only play on Java, well, actually, as of a couple months ago, if you didn't know, you got Bedrock for free as well. If you've always wanted to check out Bedrock, now is the perfect time. Alright, next up, let's go mob by mob and talk about them all. We'll go in order of their reveals, and I'm gonna try my best to keep personal takes and opinions out of this. I'll just give you the facts. Mob number 1 is the Sniffer. I love the Sniffer. I messed up already, didn't I? If you vote for the Sniffer, you will essentially get this ancient dinosaur mob added to the game. Now, this dinosaur mob will have to be kind of like curated or rescued. It'll come from an egg that you'll find inside of the ocean ruined chests. Now, this egg, bring it up to the surface, hatch it, and then you get this tiny little dinosaur. This dinosaur will dig every once in a while, at least that's what it looks like. Oh yeah, and it gets big too. It gets real big. Look at that thing. It's a monster. Slightly speculation with this bit here, but if we take a look at the size of the thing in that reveal video, in-game, next to a person, yeah, I'm thinking this thing is going to be, like, about as big as a Ravager. It's absolutely gigantic. Another interesting thing about the Sniffer is the fact that it's extinct. It's actually old and ancient. If this thing makes it into the game, this is probably the closest we will ever get to having dinosaurs in vanilla Minecraft. In other words, Dino Kids, rise up. Hatches from an egg that is found in the ocean, and then is a baby. Eventually can grow up. Sometimes lives on the ground and digs and finds things. Freeze, right there, and finds things. We're gonna do a frame-by-frame analysis on this bit. Look at what this thing is doing. It's digging in the ground, and then it finds a thing, kind of looks like a rock or something, right? Well, actually, Agnes grabs it and plants it, and boom! That's the new plant. The Sniffer sniffs out ancient seeds that will become a new plant. Now, it was pointed out to me by one of you on Twitter that there's a little bit more interesting information on the Sniffer in the description of this video. There are decorative plants that only the Sniffer can help you grow. So yeah, essentially new plants, and if we follow the lore of the Sniffer, ancient plants confirmed to be added to the game alongside the Sniffer as well. Here's another interesting one having to do with the Sniffer that I've been seeing going around on Twitter. So check this out. Here we have skull number 1. Go ahead and load that. I'm sure you all knew already, but fossils are currently in the game. Like, you can go under the ground and find this thing. It's just, like, insanely rare. So we go ahead and pair some kind of skull piece with some kind of spine piece, another thing you can find under the ground, and check this out. I mean, kind of, like, vaguely, maybe, like very, very vaguely, it kind of looks like the sniffer, right? Maybe the sniffer has been here all along. I mean, obviously that's gigantic compared to me, like, that's huge, so I don't think it'll be that big, but, like, maybe the ancient ones were, like, really, really big, you know, or something? I don't know. Anyways, thought that was cool. We end our sniffer segment like we'll end every other mob segment in this video. Now, I'm gonna try and say 3 nice things about each mob. One nice thing about the sniffer is the fact that we get more things, more loot inside of the ocean. Another reason to actually go there. Another nice thing is plants. I mean, more plants. Plants are always nice. And finally, and obviously here, one of the reasons the sniffer is great is, I mean, it's a literal dinosaur. Come on, guys. It's a dinosaur. Moving on to mob number 2, the Rascal. The Rascal is not only mysterious, but it's a gamer that likes a little bit of gaming. The reveal trailer for mob number 2 sent Agnes and Jeb down into the mines. This one's kind of all about the atmosphere. They were making comments about being spied on and followed and, you know, things like that. It's pretty cool. But then all of a sudden, the mob, I hate to say it, but the mob, like, literally put them to sleep. I mean, look at them. They're solidly snoozing. Like, they're out. They're gone. Meet the Rascal. The Rascal is almost like this small person-looking goblin thing that presented Jeb with an enchanted pickaxe because, of course, they found the thing. So, the Rascal, this is a brand new game, mob, coming to Minecraft. To be honest, I don't know really how to describe this one to you because it's super unique. Currently, in Minecraft, there's nothing like it at all. The Rascal is essentially almost like a new mini-game that could be added to the game. This minigame is a classic. It's good old-fashioned hide-and-seek, seemingly mixed with a little bit of tag, too. And this proposed minigame will take place in one of the most feature-lacking places in the entire game. Like, there's nothing unique here in the mine chat. Oh, wait. Oh, that's weird. Okay, sorry, back to the facts. The Rascal is a brand new mob that you'll be able to find hiding inside of the mine shafts in your world. Now, the Rascal, when you find it hiding, seemingly by, like, looking at it or something, it will actually move and go hide somewhere else. You'll have to find it again, so, like, you find the Rascal somehow a second time, and then it runs again. It goes and hides again. As a small side note, this structure is literally designed for this game. I mean, hide and seek instead of the mineshaft, it's perfect. The mineshaft is like a giant maze. It's confusing. It winds, weaves, twists. Also, small spots like this, plenty of spots to hide. Anyways, with this mob, you find it a 3rd time, and then it will present you some kind of prize. Now, in that reveal trailer, it was an enchanted iron pickaxe. Yeah, very alluring. Enchanted iron. To be honest, I really think this one could have used with, like, a little bit more explanation. Like, what kind of prizes is this thing going to actually bring you? Is it just going to be low-level enchanted tools, or is it actually going to be, like, good things, like enchanted golden apples and things like that? I highly recommend voting off of only what we saw, though, and what we saw was an enchanted iron pickaxe. So, if that's useful to you, maybe this is a mob for you. Since we talked about it with the sniffer, we'll go ahead and talk about it with the Rascal too. When it comes to sizing of this thing, in this reveal trailer, this thing looks to be a little bit shorter than the players. That makes me think that size-wise in game, maybe we're looking at something like a little bit more similar to like an alley or something. Maybe slightly bigger than that, but like a small mob. I mean, after all, if the whole point of this thing is hide and seek, something smaller would definitely be harder to seek. It would make sense. Just like we did with that sniffer a second ago, I want to analyze this in 4K. Freeze frame, right here. Look at this thing. Could it be a backpack? Alright, cut. I'm not gonna take this joke any farther. I already saw people talking about this on Twitter. Then, no. This happened before with the glow squid when people thought a submarine would be added. No. A backpack is not being added to Minecraft. No. That's not, no. They didn't say that. Got a little bit more information from the description on the last one, though, so maybe there's more here. Meet the Rascal, a mischievous mob that loves to play hide-and-seek. The Rascal lurks in underground mines waiting to be found. If you spot the same Rascal 3 times, it will reward you with a prize, so keep your eyes open. Yeah, so the only additional information that I think we can get from that one is same Rascal, meaning there could be more than one Rascal inside of a Minecraft world. Other than that, though, I think that's it for the Rascal. That's all we know. Wait, hold on. There's a blog post for the Rascal. Maybe we will find even more out here. Okay, just kidding. No, we won't really find anything else out here, other than the fact that you don't need to go to the deep dark, just below Y0. And it won't lead you to the Warden's Den, or in other words, the Ancient City. That's a weird point of clarification. Thanks. So we're gonna say 3 nice things about the Rascal. This time I just decided to outsource it to you guys. Evil Shadow, nice thing number 1. If you're running low on anything while caving, there's a chance this mob could provide that item. I mean, yeah, technically true. All we know for sure is that it will give pickaxes, but I guess there's a chance that it'll give more. There's a lot of really good ones in here, but I like this one in here. Hide and seek sounds fun. Looking around in the mines, not for ores or treasures, but to play a game. And you're right, definitely. I personally really love that idea of like a new mini game built into the game. That could definitely be fun to check out, especially if you play on a server with friends. That could be pretty cool. Now, I actually kind of lied. For that third nice thing, I think I came up with it. The Rascal is actually going to be just like another mob in the game that brings you random things when you find it. Except this time, the random things are for free. Everybody's favorite. Okay, so up until this point in the video, there might be a clear winner. You might be heavily on Team Dino. But this next one, well, this next one might make things tough. Okay, I'm sorry for it. I had to say it, I'm sorry. The third and final mob vote mob that we get to choose from this year, 2022, is the TUFF Golem. Look at this thing. It comes with this like red cloak robe thing that it also uses to hold items. So, in the reveal trailer, we have Agnes and Jeb sitting inside of Boo's house. Boo's house, architecturally, immaculate. Like, that's a beautiful looking build. The size doesn't always necessarily matter. Like, sometimes if it has a little bit more to it, it really doesn't matter at all. But I guess size is what we'll start with this one. The TUFF Golem, based off of that reveal trailer, I'm thinking is also going to be a little bit smaller. Maybe kind of like the Copper Golem that we saw last year, if you've seen any of those mods. Look, I'm a nice guy. I'll go ahead and hand a compliment out to the TUFF Golem right now. Look at this thing. It's adorable. Now, in-game, does it actually have shining blue eyes and this whole red cloak? I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. But either way, it's adorable. There's like a small moving statue. So, what is the TUFF Golem? Well, that's what it is. It's a small moving statue. The thing about the TUFF Golem is basically it finds an item or is given an item, and it carries it. It walks around with that item and then sometimes freezes. If we are to believe the name for this one, then the TUFF Golem is most likely going to be made out of tuff. I mean, maybe you place a block or two and then like a pumpkin on top, or maybe it's even just one block and a pumpkin. The second nice thing that I'd like to say about the TUFF Golem is the fact that golems are really cool. And having something like the TUFF Golem in the game would definitely give the tuff block a little bit more of a use. But is it enough to beat out the dino or the Rascal? Sliding back over to the reveal trailer to analyze this one in 4K while it's moving, if we take a look at the walls of this house, it's kind of like, almost like a, I don't know what you would call it. We'll say an analogy. On the wall, we have item frames. On the floor, we have the TUFF Golem. The TUFF Golem is kind of comparable to an item frame, except this time, the item frame moves around, then picks things up. Based off of the dialogue throughout these reveal trailers, it seems like the TUFF Golem can either be given an item, or just pick up an item on its own. In search of more answers, we'll check the description. Meet the TUFF Golem, a statue with a twist. It comes alive. When the TUFF Golem awakens, it will walk around, pick up, and hold any item it comes across. Don't worry, it will return to the same spot you placed it when it turns back into a statue. It may be a work of art, but you're the designer. So correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I believe that was a designer reference, which is kind of crazy. I haven't heard anything about designers since like Panda 2016, so I guess that's kind of cool. And this does grant us a little bit more information on this thing. Whenever we, I guess, make a TUFF Golem, presumably make it, it will pop into the world, you give it an item, it'll walk around randomly, and then come back to that spot. So, kind of like a randomizer or something. Or, kind of like the LA, where you give it an item, then it will move around and come back to that spot, except with the LA, that spot can actually move. You are the spot. Just to crunch out as much information as we can, over to the blog post. It's time to be the TUFF Golem. It will stroll around at random and pick up whatever dropped item it comes across if it's not already holding one. The TUFF Golem will be a mob that you build, like snow and iron golems, but unlike them, they are completely passive. If you include a wool block in its construction, it'll wear a matching cloak. So a little bit of customizability here with 16 different colors. I assume there's a bunch of different colors, just like the llama kind of. But for TUFF Golem, that's gonna be it. Last but not least today, a quick recap of our 3 options. Option number 1 is the Sniffer. It's this ancient dinosaur thing that comes from an egg that is found inside of the ocean ruin chest. When you get the Sniffer, you bring the egg up to the land, you hatch the thing, it'll find ancient seeds. If you vote for the Sniffer, you don't only just get the baby Sniffer, you're gonna get an adult Sniffer, and also you're gonna get brand new plants added to the game too. Mob number 2, that's the most gamer mob of all time. Mob number 2 is known as the RASCAL. You'll find this thing spawning down in the mine shafts in your world. The RASCAL likes to do a little bit of gaming, specifically hide and seek. It will run around and hide. You find it 3 times, it'll give you an item. Right now, all we know that it will give you is enchanted iron pickaxe. And last but not least, we have the decorational moving item frame mob, the TUFF Golem. If you give the TUFF Golem an item, it will walk around with that item and then eventually go back and stand. Or the TUFF Golem will just pick up an item on its own. It's kind of like an item frame, except moving. So now the big decision. Which mob is the best? Which gets the vote? What will you be voting for and why? Let me know down below. If you made it to this point of the video, big shout out to you. You are literally the best person alive. Like, literally ever. That's pretty cool. If you enjoyed my little breakdown today, then leave a like on this video, and if you aren't subscribed, definitely subscribe. Minecraft Live is coming, like, it's really soon. On the same day of it, I'll have a big coverage video, and then tons of cool content after. Patron gang, big shout out Michael H, Rob, CK, and Doug. Thank you all so much for the support. It's been me, Waddle, and Dino Supremacy. Remember to vote.